already revoked her license. This testimony was part of her plea deal. Sarah's husband went next, presenting the journal and describing years of manipulative behavior he'd been blind to. He shared stories of Sarah's escalating cruelty toward family members, her obsession with control, her inability to accept any perceived slight. When it was my turn to testify, I spoke clearly and calmly about the stolen names, the poisoned vitamins, the systematic destruction of my life. I showed photos of the twins, healthy and thriving despite Sarah's attempts to prevent their existence. She wanted me to suffer, I said, meeting Sarah's gaze, because I had something she couldn't control, her brother's love and loyalty. Sarah's lawyer tried to paint me as vindictive, suggesting I'd orchestrated everything to steal Sarah's life. But the evidence spoke louder than his theories. The prosecution presented everything: the emails, the fake social media accounts, the doctored medical records, the harassment campaign. They played recordings of Sarah's threats and confessions. They showed the jury the unmarked pills she'd brought to her children's house. Sarah testified on her own behalf against her lawyer's advice. She rambled about conspiracies and betrayal, claiming I'd been planning to destroy her from the day I met her brother. She insisted the vitamins were meant to help me, that the names were coincidences, that everyone was lying. I'm a good mother, she insisted, tears streaming down her face. They took my babies away because they're jealous of what I had. The prosecutor's cross-examination was brutal. He walked her through each piece of evidence, forcing her to confront her own words and actions. Sarah's story changed with each question, contradictions piling up. Finally, he asked, "Did you or did you not tamper with Emma's prenatal vitamins?" Sarah was silent for a long moment. Then quietly, "She didn't deserve to be a mother." The courtroom erupted. The judge called for order while Sarah's lawyer put his head in his hands. She'd just confessed on the stand. Closing arguments were brief. The evidence was overwhelming, the confession damning. The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours, guilty on all counts. Sarah showed no emotion as the verdict was read. She stared straight ahead, her face blank. The judge scheduled sentencing for the following month. Outside the courthouse, reporters waited. We pushed past them without comment. There was nothing to say. Justice had been served, but it brought no joy. A family was shattered, children motherless, a baby girl named Emma growing up in foster care. The sentencing hearing was quieter. Sarah appeared medicated, her movements slow and deliberate. Character witnesses spoke on both sides. Her children didn't attend. The judge sentenced her to 15 years with possibility of parole in 7. She'd serve her time in a facility with a mental health program. It was more lenient than the prosecutor wanted, but harsher than her lawyer hoped. As guards led her away, Sarah turned one last time. "Take care of my Emma," she said softly. I didn't know if she meant me or the baby, maybe both, maybe neither. We drove home to our twins, who greeted us with smiles and outstretched arms. Charlotte had learned to say mama while we were gone. James demonstrated his new ability to stack blocks. That night, after the twins were asleep, my husband and I sat on our porch. The stars were bright, the air crisp. We didn't talk about the trial or Sarah or the years of pain. We just sat together, breathing in peace. 2 weeks later, we got a call from Child Services. Sarah's baby Emma needed a permanent placement. Would we consider adopting her? My husband and I looked at each other, then at our twins playing on the floor. Charlotte was trying to feed James a toy car while he giggled. They were so happy, so innocent. "We'll think about it," I told the social worker. That night, we talked for hours. Could we raise Sarah's child? Could we look at her every day and not see her mother? Could we deny an innocent baby a loving home because of who gave birth to her? In the end, love won. Baby Emma joined our family 3 months later. We kept her